So I would like to welcome to the Wayback Country Jamboree today a true pioneer of country music who has seen the evolution of country music unravel before her eyes, who was with her late husband, Mr. Joe Maphis. They had the most successful husband and wife team in country music history in the 50s and 60s. Please welcome to the show today, Miss Rose Lee Maphis.
I don't know, maybe the enunciation in Canada, maybe that's a little different, but here we say Maphis.
Maphis, okay, sure. I've seen Tex Ritter and different ones say that as well on old videos. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Yes, it's minor.
Sure. So if I may ask and tell your age, is that okay with you?
That's okay.
Sure. So born in the early 1920s, on December 29th of 1922 in Baltimore, Maryland, what are your earliest recollections of music growing up?
I was born December 29, 1922.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. In Baltimore, Maryland?
Yes.
Yes. And so what are your earliest recollections of music growing up?
I listened to the opera.
Yes.
And to the supper time frolics, and I would say, well, and then our local radio station, WJEJ in Hagerstown, they always had a country act close by, you know?
Okay.
So, I mean, all the radio stations that period were, you know, in the late 30s and early 40s.
Mm-hmm.
All the little radio stations had a band, country band.
Yes, and a lot of times live, I hear.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Which brings to me that you started your career at age 15 in Hagerstown.
Yes.
Would you tell us a little about your time with the Saddle Sweethearts?
The Saddle Sweethearts came a little later.
Okay.
But at the, you know, with all the same characters, really, you know, there was a couple bands there at WJEJ, and we also had a barn dance on Saturday night.
Okay. That
would involve everybody, you know, that was working on, you know, playing on the station, on that station. So what they would do, there would a band. Well, I remember an act like Salt and Peanuts.
Okay, yes.
There was an act, and they would be there, you know, however long it took to work around at all the places, in the halls or in theaters, and even sometimes in the high schools. I mean, you didn't work in bars, clubs, but then in the summertime there would be the bands in the areas close by. Then it would be a group that would get together on weekends.
Like at fairs?
Yes, that's true.
Yes, okay. And would you tell us about meeting Joe for the first time?
Which would be in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
Of course, I had not listened to Richmond, but how it was, at one time there was 4 of us girls together, and then it became just 2 of us, and we were in Blytheville, Arkansas, and so Mary and I, Mary Click, and she is from Hagerstown.
Okay.
And we had met some of the group of the Old Dominion Barn Dance on one of the shows in Pennsylvania, I think it was.
Yes.
And but we didn't know. We knew that the Carters. We'd heard of Mother Maybelle and the Carter sisters. But they were leaving Richmond, and they wanted, the Sunshine Sue,
okay,
at that the boss there, and she asked for a recording of our song, a couple songs, and so that's how we got the job, which was still, I think, around the 1st of July in 1948. So we got there on a Sunday, and that was the 4th of July. So that was there were some, I would say 20 some people working on the old Dominion bar dance at that time.
Okay.
And so we were accepted, and but I think the group that Joe had out, because there was enough that you could have a couple different shows going different places, and so he didn't get back in till a couple days, and I mean, yeah, you would be. I just had not heard guitars that could do what he got out of the guitars.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. Yes.
And the fiddle, anything you gave him to play,
he could play them. Yes, exactly. He could make them come alive. That's for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what he would do is he would have the guitar around his neck, and then he would pick up the fiddle. Mm-hmm. When he picked up the fiddle, the guitar would go around back, and he would have the fiddle in front.
Okay.
And then he'd have the banjo, be playing the banjo at the same time.
Amazing.
And he found out he could not wear sleeves that had coupling because buttons, or not especially the buttons, but the couplings themselves would get caught in the strings, you know.
Yes, exactly.
In the process somewhere.
Yes. It says here that you were joined up with Merle Travis.
Yes, they did an album for Capitol.
Okay. How did you come to record bluegrass music?
Well, I think with some records, with some artists, I guess you have to be categoried.
Yes.
And sometimes,
you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you might do a song that was more bluegrass, maybe, than country or hillbilly, whatever. Yes. So, but I think we felt ourselves we were country artists. When you're instrumentally talented,
yes,
a lot of times you can get over in the bluegrass pretty quick.
I hear you. Yes, I get a lot of people ask me why I play bluegrass on a country show.
Yeah,
but it's so close together. Yeah. So you and Joe wrote a song called "Dim Lights and Loud Loud Music." Would you tell us how this came?
The song "Dim Lights"?
Yes.
When we moved to California in 1951, the first place that we worked was the Blackboard Cafe in Bakersfield. Okay. And that's where Buck Owens was playing, and Bill Woods. Jeepers, I hadn't thought of names
in a long time.
Sure do leave you.
Yes.
Names just have a way of leaving you, you know.
Yes, exactly.
But the thing that, we had come from the Bible Belt,
yes,
so to speak, and once you cross that Mississippi River, they danced.
Okay.
East of the Mississippi, they would sit and listen, you know.
Uh-huh.
That's just the way it was.
Okay.
And because there was a lot of groups, bands really, that traveled. In fact, we did a band with Merle Travis in 1952.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The first summer we traveled that summer, and all through Texas, Oklahoma, and that area.
Yes.
And it was Fiddlin' Kate who was she played fiddle on Town Hall Party,
Mm-hmm.
and her husband later, in fact, when we came back off of that tour, joined Sons of the Pioneers.
Okay.
Dale Warren.
Uh-huh. Yes.
So, because then, there again,
Yes.
the names.
Name slip. Yes, exactly.
Names fail. You can see their faces and you know them.
Yes. We allow that. At your age, we allow that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yes.
So, back to
Dim lights.
the Blackboard Cafe.
Yes.
Now we had never worked with drums before,
Okay.
and they had an ex Bob Wills drummer
Mm-hmm.
as well, and then too, we weren't used to people getting up and dancing when you were working, when you were singing.
Exactly. Yes. It was a different environment.
But then you find out, in weeks to come, that was your living.
Yes.
You worked the clubs out
Exactly.
there. So that was it. But that was where he got the inspiration for Dim Lights.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote the song himself.
Okay.
And I'm sure that for whatever reason, I kind of think I might have been pregnant with Jody, our first
Yes.
child, and I did not work the club that night. He went and worked it himself.
Okay.
And so on the way home was when he started writing the song. He had it just about written by the time he got home.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So that's
the
where
story.
it came from.
Sure. You've seen the evolution of country music. Your entire career has been the whole evolution. What has been the biggest change in the 1950s to today?
I know things have to change,
Yes.
and I don't mind the change. It's what you call it.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
it's the category. Bring that up again.
Yes, yes.
But that's country music might get you there, but it's everyone has their own idea and thoughts. So it's what it is to anybody and everybody.
Yes, yes.
I know. That's why today it's people like you that and around the country. They only play the songs of yesteryear.
Exactly, yes.
And so that's.
We're trying to
just
keep
the way
you guys
that
alive
is.
in your music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the disc jockey,
Mm-hmm.
he has lost his identity.
Yes.
I guess, so to speak.
Exactly. Because we're all told what to play and what not to play.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You don't have to like it, but it's right. That's where the power is.
Exactly. That's so true, Rosie. Yes. So what is your thoughts on today's music?
I don't have to listen if I don't want to.
Exactly, that's right. As my original boss said, there's always a button and you can turn it off.
Yes. Right?
That's right.
Or find you a country station somewhere.
Exactly, that's right. Exactly. So if I may ask about another song, and that is your tribute song to Mother Maybelle. Would you tell us about that?
Of course, Joe worked with Mother Maybelle and the Carter sisters.
Okay.
And if they played a date together, they always rode with Joe.
Yes.
And that's just the way it was, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then Mary and I, when we went to WRVA, most of the times we would ride to and from the show date with Joe Maphis.
Yes.
So, I don't know, and conversations was always about something about the show, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The environment where you worked and the people you worked with. We'd get together once in a while and have a little get together.
Exactly. Yes. Like a jam session, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. It's
yes.
true. and you know, we found ourselves working with somebody else. You do that when you're on a big show.
That's right. Yes.
I remember Mary and Curly Collins,
mm-hmm.
and of course, Mary played bass, and Curly the fiddle. Oh, and then we had Buster Puffenbarger was the accordion player.
Okay.
You know?
Uh-huh.
He's the guy that kept you on key.
Okay.
That's why in the early days there was if you had a group, you had an accordion player because they were the ones that kept your instruments on the right key.
Oh, okay.
You know.
So it wasn't just a novelty instrument.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the accordion was an important instrument once.
Yes.
Yes.
It was.
Okay. Okay. Uh-huh. So
you take me somewhere else.
Okay. Sure. So in closing today, but for today, how would Rosalie Maphis like to be remembered?
The best way, the most important, I don't know. I was Joe Maphis's second wife.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And I was very fortunate. I always enjoyed standing on stage and watching the expression of people if you were sitting close enough where you could see what was going on, you know, with those fingers.
Yes.
And stuff. The expressions on people's faces sometimes, you know,
it was interesting.
Exciting.
Yes, exactly. So if I may ask one more question, that's a song called Kiss a Day. It's one we play quite often of yours on the show here.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Did Joe write that?
I believe so, yes.
I'll have to dig that out and see what it sounds like.
Uh-huh.
Because, you know...
I've got it on an old 45 here.
Oh, well, I'll be...
yeah.
I mean, I know we recorded the song, but I don't remember anything about it.
No, okay, uh-huh.
It's interesting.
Yes, I play it quite often on Valentine's Day on the show. Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to thank you for the interview today, Miss Rosalie, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
You have a blessed day. Bye-bye.